Hey y'all, welcome to the Figuring It Out With You podcast with your favorite mother-daughter duo, where we're in an ever-growing conversation with each other and you all, just trying to figure out how to make the most of the life we've all been given.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Kay.
And let's get this conversation started for today.
Oh yeah. So y'all, today we're just doing a little, check-in. Like, how long have we had this podcast now? For about
I don't know. I think we started with October maybe of last year.
seems about right. That seems like long enough to just have a check-in. Like what's been up in our lives, like how are we doing? What's new for us, like personally or professionally or spiritually or all of them or creatively or sleepily. No, I'm just yeah. What's been up,
All right.
What do you want to start with? Do you want to do it by person or do you want to do it by category? Like personally for me or professionally for me,
I think we should do category.
Okay. You want to start?
No, how about you start?
Oh, okay. What category?
Professionally.
Oh, professionally, she started with the hard hitters. So, as you all may or may not know, I am approximately 22 years old. And so, before now, professionally, I wouldn't say nothing was going on, but less was going on. And so now I am, for like maybe about 2 months now, I've been a substitute teacher, which has been very cute, very exciting. And I think the emphasis was kind of like me trying to decide if I want to be an educator, like long term. And I was like, what's a way that I can decide if I want to be a teacher that's actually working in the school environment? Because I already worked with kids. It wasn't the question of like, do I want to work with kids? It's like, how do I want to work with kids? Do I want to work with kids in a school setting, outside of a school setting? What is that going to look like? And so I was like, I need to get experience like actually in schools. But I didn't want to like apply to like a teaching job and then decide this is actually not for me, because I feel like that wouldn't be good for me or for the kids or for the school that I got hired at. So I decided I can just be a sub. And right now I'm subbing at one school that's like a K through 12 school. So I've got, even in like 2 months, I've gotten like experience with like almost all the grades. So that's been really nice and helpful. Yeah, and now I'm also going to be part of the sub list for like a district of schools. So I'll be able to expand like beyond that one school to also get experience with like, just different dynamics. So I'm excited for that. And also, I am a theater girly who wants to, like, I'm a, what do you call it?
Aspiring actress.
Yeah, I was trying to find like a different word. Like, I think aspiring is like, I'm an actress growing in my experience. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
As well as an aspire, like these other two areas are definitely, I think, more aspiring for sure. Like screenwriting and directing, I also want to get more experience with. So as it stands though, right now I want to focus more on acting, because I feel like my ability to like tell stories well and help to frame them well will strengthen as my experience acting strengthens, and being able to think from the actor's perspective, so that like in my days where I'm like in my directing bag, like I'm doing it from more context. Anyways, long story short, with that, I'm also trying to take, just steps towards like finding opportunities for more training and finding opportunities to like audition for more things. I'm really trying to encourage myself to get out there. I feel like in the education scene, it's kind of simple. It's like I just applied to the job. Pretty much within like a week, I got it, and it's just been very smooth. It's like I kind of know where I stand with all that kind of thing, and that's kind of like more of my comfort zone working with kids. Even though obviously it has its own challenges too, but that's more like I think natural. Whereas theater is like something that I have to like press myself to like put myself out there for, because it's very easy to be like, oh, I saw that audition, but I'll just wait till next time, or maybe I want to apply to this thing, maybe I don't quite fit. But yeah, I'm trying to encourage myself to just put myself out there, because I obviously will never like make it or like grow in my ability if I never try. So that's where I'm at.
Good.
Oh, also, I'm trying to decide if I want to go to grad school. Y'all, pray for me in the comments. Right? Give me pros and cons in the comments. Should I go to grad school? Should I not go to grad school? Or should I go to grad school soon? Or should I wait till more experience in the job force? Or also, if I go to grad school, do I want a master's? Where do I want a PhD? It's just I swing so much on the pendulum, which is why I haven't applied yet, because I don't want to be swinging. I want to be like, I joined this program for this reason to do this thing, you know? And this last week, I was like, it's obviously PhD is what I want to do. I want to be able to do research. I want to be able to think, to contribute to the field more directly through that lens. But then yesterday and today, I've been like, bro, I think I just also want to just work with youth. I feel like the work I want to do involves youth, and I could do research on it at the PhD level and teach classes. But that's different than working with the youth. So I'm like, maybe I just actually want to work with the youth, and maybe I just need a master's in psychology or African American studies with like concentration in psychology and performing arts. Because I really just want to help think about like how, kind of similar to some of the things we've talked about on this podcast, like how one's identity comes to be shaped by your social environment, and how with more consciousness, like that shaping can be more positive, so that Black kids, wherever they grow up, no matter how they come up or what they're around, they can see themselves as like full of possibilities. And I feel like to do that kind of work, I need to be working directly with them and not like a professor working with like slightly older youth. But anyways, let me know in the caption. What should I do?
Please let her know.
Yeah. What about you, Mama?
About me. Professionally, I am still working to get out of corporate America.
Fair.
I appreciate having my job. I need to have my own company. And that's what I'm working towards. I have started several businesses and just trying to get those to become lucrative businesses. I have many more ideas about other businesses. And I'm just really just trying to do the work that I need to do for myself to get to where I want to be. Not where I need to be, but where I want to be.
I hear you.
And that's about it. It's not much.
Fair enough. Yeah. I guess it's that difference when, just started versus in it already,
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like literally it was crazy. Like in January, I was crying like, bro, I just want a job. I have like 10 jobs. And I'm like, but it's so funny because I literally have like, okay, realistically, I have 1, 2, 3 jobs. But I literally work less than 40 hours a week, which is like a blessing and a curse because I work less than 40 hours a week, I get paid less for 40 hours a week. But I also have like time to do other things that I care about. But also it's just so funny. Like, yeah, 3 months in from like literally crying every day, like I just want a job. Now I have like 3 jobs. It's like hilarious to me.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they all came literally back to back.
Yeah.
Because she was actually crying to me about wanting to have a job.
Yep.
And I told her, I said, well, when God opens the doors, they're going to be open. And they was open one by one.
Yep.
So that's the motivation to somebody. Just stay with it. Stay the course. It's going to come for you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Right. So what's our next category?
What about personally? What's going on in the mind, heart of Kim?
Personally, I am just working to learn how to love me more, learn how to deal with me more. I've mentioned on previous podcasts that I'm almost an empty nester.
She won't let that go.
And I'm just really, this is a time in my life where I'm focused on doing what I want to do. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I'm going to do it. I had received a phone call this morning, and the person on the other end was like, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm at home." They're like, "I thought you were gonna say Cancun," or I said, "I wish I was in Cancun," but that just let me know that I am traveling. I am doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
So it made me feel good. So I'm just gonna continue doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
I think that when you work hard, you deserve Play hard. I remember my dad used to say that when we were growing up, and my voice is going in and out, so y'all forgive me. But he would say, when you work hard, you play hard. So I'm trying to learn how to play hard.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So what about you, McKelly? What's going on in your personal life?
Ooh, had a, woosah. No, I'm just kidding. Personally, I mean, I think I'm vibing. Like, I'm kind of at this place, which is so funny because I was just telling my friends this earlier today. I'm at this place where life is pretty, like, chill. Like, I think, like, last year this time, I was stressed out, almost about to graduate, and I was like, I don't know what's coming next. I think I kind of went into, like, a semi-depressive state, maybe, because I was low-key, like, didn't want to go to class. I was reading something earlier today. I think it was describing, like, depression symptoms, and I was like, yeah, I was really there for real. Because it was, like, talking about how you don't want to go nowhere, and, like, just the thought of, like, waking up is just, like, oh, my gosh. Like, I was just, like, yeah, last year this time, I think I was just so, like, freaking myself out about, like, the unknownness of graduating and finally being out of school after, like, a whole life of being in school. I was just, like, what is life going to be like? And I was like, I don't even want to. It's like, I didn't have the motivation to do the things to actually finish graduating because I was so, like, scared about being done with school. It was just crazy times. Anyways. And so then, following that, now I'm just kind of in this place where for a few months I've been, chilling, vibing. There's, like, a clarity around, like, next steps in life, and there's, like, things I'm doing. I'm not just waiting around for an acceptance for a job or something like that. But there's also, like, enough, like, I guess, excitement for the future too that I'm like, it's not like I feel like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to get to the next step or anything like that. So I'm kind of just vibing. And I was telling my friend that it feels like sometimes when you get to this point where you're just vibing, like, for me personally, whenever I'm just, like, chilling, everything's pretty good, like, nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the norms are happening, but also nothing too, like, it's not too boring or anything either. I feel like I get, like, more upset about, like, really simple things when I start living chill. like yesterday, I was so mad because my car wasn't okay. Just vibe with me for a minute. I'm someone that's always late most of the time. But then there's some occasions, which obviously every occasion should be like this, but there's obviously some occasions where the people that are hosting it or whatever, they just really stress timeliness so much. So you're like, okay, if I know I'd be late to everything, but this one thing, I'm going to be on time because they were really, like, drilling it, And so this event starts at 7, but they're like, please get there at 6:45 because we also want to have, like, a refreshments portion after, and they're encouraging people to bring refreshments. So, like, if you come at 6:45, you can drop off your refreshments, you can go get your seat, you can be ready to start on time at 7. I'm like, great, I can do that. Mind you, right across the street from this building that I'm going to is a grocery store, right? So my brilliant idea, go early, then go to the grocery store, and then make it back. It's going to be great. It's going to be perfect. I'm going to grab my little thing that I'm going to bring for the refreshments. It's going to be perfect. I rolled past the building at 6:30. No parking. Nobody's there. I'm like, great. I'm the first one here. This is perfect. I just got to get in and get out at the store. It's great. I picked my items, I feel like, fairly quickly. And then I get to the register, and then, like, my car's not working. I'm trying to do Apple Pay, it's not working. I'm like, a few minutes trying. I'm like, okay, people in line behind me, and then I call my mom. I'm like, hey, can you, like, tell me real quick so that my car could work, so that my thing could. Cause I left my wallet in the car because I was like, Apple Pay is gonna work. It wasn't working, and so then I had to go to the car, and then when I'm getting to the car, it's like 6:50. I'm like, do I just want to leave and be on time? Or do I want to go back in there and get my stuff that I was planning to bring? I was like, I do want to bring the stuff. But I was just so mad. I was just like, bro, like, I'm late now. Like, it was just so funny how, like, that little thing, I was literally so mad. Like, I was looking at my phone today for my pictures. And I think when I get upset, especially when I'm about to go be doing something social or be around people, I'm always telling myself, like, I'll be thinking about how I'm upset, right? And then I'm like, I think I look upset too. And then I'd be like, I don't want to look upset. And so, like, I be taking pictures of myself. Like, I try not to, like, pose or anything. I just, like, put a camera up to me. I'm like, dang, that's how I'm looking right now. And then I'm like, sheesh, you look a little mean. And so then I, like, try to get myself to smile to, like, get over it. And so it's just funny. I had pictures of my phone from yesterday when I'm, like, walking back to because then I go to my car, I get the wallet, whatever. Then I get back to my car to leave. I don't know where my wallet is. And I'm like, bro, are you serious? Why do you always lose stuff? What's wrong with you? You're an idiot. You're late. You're losing everything. What is wrong? And then I'm like, girl, chill. Anyways, long story short, I'm looking at the pictures today, and one of the pictures I'm just like, and then the other picture I'm like, and it's just like hilarious. Like I'm trying to like get myself to like perk up. Anyways, long story short, personally, life is pretty chill. Like I feel like I have a very beautiful support system right now. My friend also reached out to me today. Like it was so funny. It was so like random. They were like, "Are you still feeling like people don't reach out to you? Like that you're only the person that people come to, but no, never the other way around?" And I was just like, "Did I ever tell you that?" I'm like, "Where did this question come from?" And they were like, "Yeah, you told me that not too long ago." And I was like, "Oh, that's crazy." And I was like, "Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to feel less like that." And I think one of the things I realized is that I kind of did have this perception that, which it was kind of true, mind you. But anyways, I did kind of have this perception that people always come to me for like advice and just all these things, and I'm very like comforting spirit, but that I never really get that in return. Which is it was kind of true, but then I also realized today that a part of it too is that those people, one, because I'm pretty perceptive, like if I see them, they look sad, I'm going to ask them about it. But then also sometimes they just volunteer this information in a way that I don't often. When I'm going through stuff, I just kind of like vibe, act normal, and then I'd be like, "Ain't nobody checked on me," you know. But it's like they didn't know you were upset, and sometimes you don't really check on them either. They just start volunteering all this information. Anyways, I feel like recently I've been learning more too about how to be more like open and just like solicit advice or just thoughts or whatever when I want it, so that I don't have to be like, "Ain't nobody reaching out to me," type of thing. Yeah.
Well, that's good. It sounds like you're learning a lot about yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I hear a lot of personal growth and development, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What's our next category?
Spiritually.
Okay. Well, I'll take that one on. Spiritually, I am seeking to be better. I had mentioned to Michaela earlier this week, all of my energy, extra energy, I need to devote to spending more time in prayer, reading more, spending more time with God, and doing spiritual things. Because I do desire to have a husband. I do desire to have that fulfilling, tangible relationship. But right now, I think that I need to just focus more on getting myself in a better spiritual place. Because we just get caught up with life, and things are so trivial, things mean so much to us, but we really need to be focused on, are we living the life that God is calling us to live? Are we doing the things that He is calling us to do? Because our lives are not just for us. We're all connected.
Yeah.
And you go through things, and we go through things so that we can share it with our brothers and sisters and be a testimony. So I think that I am definitely going to commit the rest of this year to spending more time in spiritual spaces, because I think that my spiritual growth is something that's very important to me, and it's something that I need in my life. So what about you, McKenna?
Everything she said. Low key though, for real. Yeah, I definitely have been trying to learn to rely more on prayer. Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm laughing. Whatever. Yeah, especially like with some particular like experiences and challenges that I'm facing, I'm trying to learn how, like, instead of my first response being like helplessness or despair, or like who do I need to call to talk about this, like how can I use prayer as like that first response kind of thing. I'm trying to learn about that more, and just being more intentional with my like spiritual life. I feel like I kind of have gotten decent. I wouldn't even say good. I've gotten decent at like relying more on like the word of God and prayer in general. But I don't think I've done it to a degree where it's like very intentional, or where I actually see prayer and like meditation on the word of God as like a solution to problems. I don't think I've kind of got to that point. So I'm trying to like help myself get to that point by praying more regularly, and reflecting more also on like my spiritual growth and how I feel like I'm applying certain things or not applying certain things very well, and trying to find more guidance when I feel like there's questions that I have or things that I don't know how to answer, instead of like my first response being, let me call my homegirl. I mean, because obviously that's valuable too, but at the end of the day, when I feel very hopeless and helpless or don't know what to do, the best source would be the word of God. And then after that, I can still like feel, I feel like after you do that, I feel like for at least for myself, after I do that, I'm better able to take in the opinions and thoughts and advice of others, because then I have like some kind of like, I don't know, grounding point. Because if I was only taking in everybody else's opinions, it would be kind of like hard, because like their opinions might not have any like central message.
Right.
But then if I like have the word of God, and then I see like how other people have experienced this particular thing and how they've applied different things, it also can like give me insight, but then also I can still distill from what they said something that helps me think about how to apply what something directly from the source is also saying. So yeah, so same.
Yeah, and you said at the end of the day, I think you need to reverse that.
At the beginning
and
of the
it's
day.
easier said than done. But we should always make God our first consult.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking to myself also. Excuse me. Because there have been so many times where I go to reach for my phone and I can call 10 people and nobody will answer. And the spirit is saying, but just talk to me. But just talk to me. I'm here. Just speak to me. Excuse me, God. Oh, I got a tickle in my throat. But we really need to just make God our first consult.
Yeah. Dang, that reminds me of this quote that my friend keeps reading these last few days. Man, I want to find it now. I got it. I don't got it, but I know how to search for it. Basically, on that note of like God wanting to be like our first consult, and then we always try to find all these other people we can reach out to. This quote from the Baha'i writings is like one of the hidden words of Baha'u'llah. It says, "O moving form of dust," that's us, "I desire communion with thee, but thou wouldest put no trust in me." And then it goes on. Oh wait, yeah, that's the part that reminds me of it mostly. But I'll read the whole thing anyway. So what you were saying about how God like wants to be like the first person we contact, but often we're like trying to like find all these other people. It reminded me of this quote that my friend keeps reading the last few days from the Baha'i writings. It's one of the hidden words of Baha'u'llah, and it basically is saying similar thing. Like it goes, "O moving form of dust," that's us, "I desire communion with thee, but thou wouldest put no trust in me, God. The sword of thy rebellion hath felled the tree of thy hope. At all times I am near unto thee, but thou art ever far from me. Imperishable glory I have chosen for thee, yet boundless shame thou hast chosen for thyself."
Wow.
Yeah, made me think about that.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, God wants to be first.
And it makes sense because God has like all the answers for real. It's that last part where it's like, imperishable glory I've chosen for thee, yet boundless shame thou hast chosen for thyself. It just makes me think about like, obviously, like, not to like, you know, belittle the impact that others have on like the value and insights that others can have, but just like thinking about like the limited knowledge that like I have, like if I'm trying to give you advice, the limited knowledge that I have compared to God's knowledge. Of course, like anything I have to offer will be like so small in comparison to like if you just like you know what I'm saying? So it's like just like sheesh. When you think about it that way, it's like.
And I'm not saying that consulting with others is not good,
valuable.
because sometimes someone can give you a different perspective. But when you're having those moments where you really need an answer, or you really need comfort, or you need to feel peace about it, your first thought should not be, let me call Michaelia, or let me call Tommy, or whoever.
Right.
My first thought should be, let me pray about it. And most of the time, when you put God in that first slot, He'll send somebody to call you to give you an encouraging word, you know, to just confirm everything that He's already said.
Yeah.
So we just really need to get into a place where we're seeking God and seeking His will for our lives. Because I don't know about Michaelia, but I've been doing my own thing for as long as I wanted to do it. And I'm just at a place in my life where I really truly want to surrender to God so that I can see the full manifestation of everything. The imperishable glory that she spoke about. I want to receive that. I want to see that in my life. You know.
Yeah.
So what about you guys? Drop your comments below.
Yeah.
Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and like, well, that is liking, share and subscribe as we continue to figure it out with you.
Yes, and let us know what's up and new in your life.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.